Here are a few tips to play one of the most recognizable tunes from the Harry Potter movies. Hi, my name is Liz from Cellomoji.com, and I give you tips and tricks to learn to play your favorite songs on the cello. So if you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button and the bell next to it so you won't miss out on any other videos. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you too are also a Harry Potter fan. So this tips video is on the song Hedwig's Theme, which I did another video where I played through the song and the version that is found in this sheet music book. If you haven't seen that video yet, I will link it up above and in the description box below. But this book is basically covering all the Harry Potter songs. I won't say that it covers every single song in the movie, but it definitely covers a fair share of them. This actually says Harry Potter Complete Film Series Instrumental Solos. This definitely comes in other versions for other instruments, but here I'm just showing the cello version of it. What's great about this book is it comes with a detachable solo cello part, and here is the piano accompaniment. But what's really great is in the back of the book it comes with a CD that has MP3 recordings of someone playing through with the MP3 recording track, and then it also puts in the accompaniment track by itself so that you yourself can play through it. So it's fun because it's like you're playing through with an orchestra behind you. I'll leave a link in the description box below to this book so you yourself can go out and get this and give it a try at home. Okay, so some things to note is in the beginning of this song it actually says that there are 15 measures of rest. And now I know there's a lot of you out there probably who are like, oh my gosh, how am I going to keep track of 15 measures of rest? Really? And if only I could have a magic wand to make all the yard people go away so that I could finish this video, that would be really great. In the beginning of this song, there are 15 measures of rest, and I am definitely of the camp where you should be counting 15 measures of rest, but I completely understand, especially for a lot of the beginners, that it might be kind of hard to keep track of all of that and like what measure am I on, or you might get lost. So another way of counting these 15 measures of rest is to actually listen to what the orchestra is playing. Basically what they're doing is they're playing through the whole theme once, and then you are coming in and playing the same thing immediately afterwards. So just keep an ear out for that, and that will definitely help you count all the rests. So unfortunately they don't give you a count off before the track actually starts, but I think it's because they figured you have 15 measures to sort of wait it out and try to get your bearings on when you're supposed to come in, so I figured that's probably why they don't include it. Just know the first note that you hear is the quarter note rest, otherwise known as like the pickup into the downbeat, and that will help you when you're counting. This is also true in the B section. This is where the time signature changes into cut time. There it has about 8 measures of rest, and again they don't give you any sort of like count off or any indication, it just sort of starts. Just know that when you hear the eighth notes that are happening immediately, that is beat 1 of the new time signature there. So just like the A section, you're going to actually hear them play through the melody of the B section, and then you're going to come in. So definitely practice counting out 8 measures of rest, but again you can kind of almost double check yourself as you're counting and listening at the same time to know exactly when to come in. Okay, so there are a few fingerings that are put into the part. One that's marked in measure 27, it's repeated in other sections of the song. So this fingering, actually you can play it in 2 different locations pretty much with the same exact fingering. It doesn't really indicate which string you should be on, so you kind of have an option of picking whichever one works for you. When I was doing it in the playthrough, I opted to do the fingering on the A string. So how it works is you're starting out on the B, on the A string. It writes X3, otherwise known as an extension 3, though in this case I probably would just move my hand to a D, C sharp, C natural, and then from there you're crossing over to a G sharp. So all of this is really can be considered extension first position, but I mean you could also just sort of do a kind of mini shift to the D so that D, C sharp, C natural, and G sharp are all right there for you. Right after this G sharp, they give you a fingering option where you can play the 1 on the C natural again. But like I said, this is kind of like extension first position, so you could actually just do from G sharp to C natural with your 2. It's a bit of a stretch, but it is one that we kind of train you guys for, so that can definitely help. But the fingering that's in the book has you doing the G sharp, C natural, then you shift to half position, which is the B, and then the A sharp. After that, A sharp, they have the low A sharp. You're moving back into first position. So it's something just to know for yourself of how your hand should move around. Now, if you're feeling really up for the challenge, you could totally do the B, D, C sharp, C natural up in position. And then from there, you would have to actually shift to the G sharp and then continue on from there. But it's kind of nice to have that option of whether you do it on the A string or on the D string, because usually when something repeats multiple times, it's good to sort of change it up for yourself. It gives a different kind of tone, a different kind of mood or feeling, plus it keeps it interesting for yourself as well as the listener. Of course, if you are not comfortable going up in position, I would definitely recommend just staying down here in the lower positions. Just know that when it comes to fingerings, there are always multiple options of playing a certain passage, and I'm always of the camp of you just go with the fingering that you're comfortable with that will give you the most consistent intonation. So in other words, some fingerings may work better for certain people than others, and I've definitely found with some of my students they preferred certain fingerings over the ones that I may prefer. So my rule of thumb is just make sure that it's in tune and you should be good to go. I mentioned this earlier, but it's really good for you to note that in measure 51, that is a time signature change into cut time. So the song starts out in 3/4 time and then it changes into 2/2. So it's really good for you to know exactly what to be listening for so that when you're hearing the accompaniment part, it doesn't catch you off guard and you'll be able to count the right amount of time before you come in. In measure 59 and 60, it kind of has this weird slur bowing mark that is a little bit awkward. My best suggestion to you is that when you're doing that slur, which occurs on an up bow, make sure that you're starting in a comfortable part of the bow and that you're not starting too close to the frog. Because if you start too close to the frog, it's just going to feel even more awkward and then you'll be kind of stuck in a hard place and not make such a great tone. So from 59 to 60 is where that slur happens, and within that slur, it goes from an E to an F. You could sort of play around with that too. I mean, technically it has you doing a E to an F, a 2 to a 3, but if you wanted to be sort of playful, you could actually do like a little slide just for fun and just to give it a try. I mean, there's no rule saying that you can't do that, but it's something different to try in case you're interested. So measure 60 to 61 has you going into position. So you're starting with your first finger on the C. But for all of those who are not comfortable in position, you can totally play all of these passages in first position. If you were doing it in first position, you would play just C with your regular 4, and then you would do open extension 4 for the C sharp, and then low F. The music standpoint, it has you play C with the first finger here, and then 3 on the D, and then D, C sharp, D, and then down to the 4. So there are benefits of doing it in position. Obviously, one of the main ones is that you take out the string crossings, so it'll be nice and clean sounding without extra sounds coming out. But again, you don't have to do it there. You can totally do it in first position if you are more comfortable doing that. Question of the day. Which Harry Potter house would you be in if you got a chance to choose? Remember, you can always check out of how I play through this song. I'll leave the link in the description box below. And I will also leave a link to where you can actually buy this sheet music yourself and give it a try at home. Let me know below if you have any questions about this song, or if you have other cello playing questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Just leave them in the comment box below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!